Does the C6 Corvette make a decent daily driver? Let's just dig into this video right now. First of all, thank you guys very much for stepping in. I appreciate it very, very much. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell notification as well. I do 3 videos every single week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and I try not to miss. So out of the 550 videos that are already uploaded, I'm sure you might find something of interest. So I appreciate you following along. Now, C6 Corvette as a daily driver. My goodness. I've been driving my C6, which I picked up a month or two ago now at this point, almost every single day for the last several weeks. So I think I've formed my opinion base around this car right now.
And I got a few things to say about it.
What makes a good daily driver? I would say fuel mileage, overall comfortability, and the enjoyment of driving that vehicle, as well as kind of the overall maintenance costs. Those are a few things that really take into consideration in determining whether or not a vehicle is a legitimate daily driver. Number one, comfortability. Surprisingly, the C6 is not all that comfortable. A lot of people have varying opinions about the Corvette interior. To me, surprisingly, the fact that it's not all that comfortable, I am surprised that it is not all that practical or functional either. Being a dedicated sports car, you would think there'd be a lot more support, a lot more lateral support here in the lumbar region, a lot more support in the lumbar region itself, and just kind of an overall more of a seat that's going to sort of hold you in place. I mean, look at what the car is built for, especially the Grand Sport. It's meant to go around a track. You would think those seats are going to hold you into place, and they just don't. Maybe I gotta mess with the adjustments a little bit more, but I feel like even driving a little bit spiritedly or taking an on-ramp or an off-ramp a little more aggressively, I'm fighting to keep myself centered in that seat. And it's just a little bit awkward. Over a long spirited drive, like a 100-mile mountain run, which I've done in the past, that would become very, very tiring. And you could potentially get fatigued and actually could end up being dangerous. So I'm not all that impressed by the support that you get from the C6 Corvette seats. On top of that, they're not all that comfortable. Nice leather, really nice leather. I do appreciate that. And they are heated, which I appreciate also, especially in these cooler months. But after several miles, I really start to get a sore back. And again, this could be me just needing to make adjustments to the seats and play around with the settings a little bit. But even driving, 20 miles to work, 20 or 30 minutes every morning, I start to get a sore back. Whereas in my Q50 or my wife's Ford Explorer, it just seems to support you a lot better in the areas that you want to be supported. And you can drive for hours in those vehicles and not feel your back being fatigued at all. And again, we have to have reasonable expectations of Corvette as a sports car, so I'm not like super surprised. But again, being as uncomfortable as they are, at least you would think that they would support you sort of in a spirited driving situation, but they don't do it. They don't do either of those things. So a little bit disappointed in how comfortable the car is overall. Fuel mileage, I mean, long gears, 6-speed manual transmission, you are able to get decent mileage in this car if you drive like a normal person. Cruising down the interstate, 70, 75 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour, like under 2,000 RPM, it's really, really impressive. You can easily get 30 miles per gallon in this car as long as you're not doing a bunch of ups and downs. So really impressive there. The thing is, though, is that it's a throaty V8 that sounds amazing. And it's a 6-speed manual transmission, and it's pretty torquey. So you can't help but get into the throttle every once in a while, or more often than not in my case. So over the last several weeks of driving this car every day, I'm averaging like 17 or 18 miles per gallon. So it shouldn't surprise me. So from that aspect, no, it doesn't make a great daily driver, but the fact that you could get much better mileage if you really tried to drive like a normal person, that's pretty impressive. There's a lot to be said about a car that is as fast as it is, as torquey as it is, and is making as much horsepower as it does, and still be able to get 25, 30 miles per gallon. That's pretty impressive, and I think that's a key thing to take into consideration. The other thing to think about is overall maintenance costs, or the cost in owning this vehicle, and does it make a practical or reasonable daily driver? The Corvette, the C6 Corvette, is a pretty expensive car in general. Depending on who you are, the insurance might be a little bit higher than you'd want. It's not too bad for me, actually. Surprisingly, the insurance is lower than my Q50, so I guess it's just because of the age. But maintenance costs, I mean, this year of Grand Sport is like 10 quarts of oil. So every time you're doing an oil change, you're buying 10 quarts or 10 or 11 to get you 10 and a half. Tires are super expensive. A decent set of rear tires are going to be $300 to $400 plus each.
This is definitely tire.
The other ones. I like that laugh. If you're running like a lower tread wear tire, 280, 320, something like that, you're going to be burning through them after 10, 12, 15,000 miles, especially if you drive aggressively at any given point. So if you're daily in the car, chances are you're going to be going through a set of tires every year at that rate. That's expensive. If you're in the throttle a lot like myself, you're going to be burning through the fuel. Overall, it's not a cheap car to drive. Brakes, pads are expensive, rotors are expensive. It's just, it can get expensive pretty quickly driving a Corvette every single day. And the last category is how fun is the car overall to drive daily. And one of the elements to that is the attention that you get on the street, because we're all attention whores, right? We're all clout chasers. And we want to know that the people that are watching us drive the car actually enjoy the car as well. That's why we go to car shows, right? So Corvette, of course, gets a ton of attention on the street, especially this one being bright red, the wide body, the big chrome wheels. It draws the attention of young and old alike. A Corvette is one of those cars that gets the attention of a youngster because it is so unique looking, such a sleek looking car. You can tell that it's a race car. It sounds amazing, so it catches everybody's attention because of how rumbly it is, how throaty and deep that V8 is. And then you get the attention of the old guys, of course, because it's a Corvette. So all those jean short wearing, New Balance rocking, tucked in polo shirt wearing,
Midlife crisis guys.
getting all their attention. It's nimble, feels great, pulls hard. 6-speed manual transmission makes the car a lot of fun to drive, of course, rolling through all the gears. It's a blast. It's a blast to drive. What can I say? So combining all of these elements together, is the C6 a decent daily driver? I'm going to say no. It's actually not that good of a daily driver. You know, I've driven it again every day for the last several weeks, and I'm ready to not drive it, honestly. It's just, maybe it's an age thing. I don't know. I used to have only manual cars, and I always said, I'll never own an automatic car again. I was one of those guys. And the fact of the matter is, if you're driving it every single day, sometimes I just want to get in a car and not have to shift gears. You know, I just want to put it in and drive and go. I do like that it has the MPP exhaust, so I can just turn it down and make it quiet if I want to, although it's pretty quiet in the cabin. But that's one of those sort of comfortability things too, that sometimes after a long day at work, you just want to get in the car and have it be quiet. It's almost like it forces you to press the gas pedal. Sometimes I just want to cruise. Just want it to be calm and quiet and cruise home and not feel like I have to race everybody. So I'm gonna say overall, no, it's not a great or practical daily driver. Certainly can, but I just don't want to. I don't want to drive it every day anymore. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, whether or not you think the C6 Corvette is a good daily driver or not. I appreciate all of your input, and I appreciate your engagement on these videos, and of course, I love hearing what you guys have to say. So let me know your thoughts. More stuff coming for the channel, a lot of stuff going on for all the vehicles coming up here this winter. Looking forward to diving into some projects, and looking forward to sharing it all with you guys. So thanks for watching. I appreciate the continued support. We'll see you in the next one.